Innovation Cafe is the English podcast that bridges the gap between people and the world of AI and innovation. Tune in with the hosts of Tom and Vicky as they explore the top AI applications, ecosystems, and latest trends. This series is generated by AI, basically summarizing the most advancing and trending AI informations. Enjoy.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. If you've ever felt like you're just drinking from a fire hose of new open source projects, well, today we are your filter.
That's right.
We are going to distill the absolutely critical trends that signal where developer energy and, frankly, investment are flowing right now.
Our mission today is total signal extraction. We aren't just, reading off star counts.
Right.
We're looking at these high momentum GitHub projects, the ones seeing massive daily increases, and layering that with expert analysis on the newest, most innovative tools.
Especially in AI and infrastructure.
Exactly. In AI infrastructure and those core utility spaces. It's really about figuring out not just what's popular, but the underlying mechanisms that tell us why these things are reshaping how you, the developer, will probably work next year.
And our sources for this, they give us this phenomenal dual perspective. We have the raw star data showing that, raw measurable momentum, the groundswell from the whole ecosystem. And then we have this specialized analysis on targeted new tools, especially the ones moving into that sophisticated multi-agent space. That's where you see the real innovation.
And if you just step back for a second and look at the landscape, it is completely dominated by two intertwined forces.
Okay.
First, you have this ongoing explosion of highly specialized AI-powered tools. These are designed to automate and manage really complex professional tasks.
And a second.
And second, there's this massive, almost urgent push to retrofit and optimize the foundational infrastructure.
The stuff everything runs on.
The networking, the data storage, the performance tools, all the things that are frankly struggling to keep up with the demands of these new, stateful, sophisticated AI systems. And that's really the core conflict we're diving into today.
Okay, let's unpack this. I think we should start with that massive gravitational pull of information intelligence, that AI dominance layer.
Sounds good.
And we have a definitive Star King this week that I think speaks directly to this universal problem of information overload. Samson TrendRadar.
It is the project that just refuses to stop growing. We saw over 2,000 new stars in a single day.
Wow.
Pushing it close to 18,000 total, with over 10,000 active forks. That kind of consistent, explosive growth, it's not just hype. It tells us developers are desperate for a better way to filter the internet.
So what makes it so sticky? What's the hook?
It uses AI to monitor something like 35 different external platforms.
35.
Yeah, social media, blogs, news feeds, specialized developer forums, and then it provides summarized analysis and push notifications. It's essentially outsourced FOMO.
Outsourced FOMO. I like that.
But it's more than that. It's a behavioral shift. Think about your workday. You probably spend an hour a day checking all these different sources to see what's trending in your field. This tool just eliminates that task entirely. It moves you from being an active seeker of information to a recipient of curated, pre-analyzed insights. The efficiency gain is why it's got so much momentum. It's information curation as a service.
So, okay, we've got the application layer grabbing all the attention, but you can't run that kind of sophisticated app without the foundational tools getting smarter too. Which brings us to the accelerated growth of Gibson A. Memory.
This is critical infrastructure, and its growth reflects that urgency. It saw an 84% increase in daily stars. This Python framework, it solves the single biggest limitation of current LLMs.
Which is memory.
Memory.
When you say memory, what exactly are we talking about here? Because LLMs clearly remember some things.
Well, they remember, in short, finite bursts. But if you've ever had a chatbot, forget a crucial detail you gave it 2 minutes ago, or forget the context of a project from yesterday.
Oh, all the time. It's infuriating.
That is the exact problem memory solves. It provides the memory engine for stateful LLMs. It means the AI can retain context and personality across sessions, across massive complex workflows. You can finally build a useful agent that doesn't suffer from digital short-term memory loss.
So on one hand, AI is conquering our attention span, and on the other, the foundational tools are making that AI smarter and more persistent. But even with all this hype, it's worth noting that open source still delivers on, that sustained Evergreen demand.
Absolutely. The need for basic human advancement that never stops. Look at Yang's Suntech Interview Handbook.
Classic.
The go-to coding interview guide. It's still getting over 300 daily stars, sitting at over 133,000 total. That tells you the market for dev jobs is still incredibly high stakes.
Constant preparation.
Constant preparation. And then you have this massive utility project, IPTV or GIPTV. This thing just crossed the 100,000 star milestone.
And for those who don't know, what is it?
It's essentially a curated global collection of open IPTV channels. That project is a quiet powerhouse. It represents this massive, sustained global interest in open media access and the push for decentralization of information. It's a crucial trend happening outside the immediate AI orbit.
That's a perfect connection point, actually. Because while utility tools are vital, the real innovative investment seems to be flowing into specialization. We're seeing this hard pivot from generalist chatbots to specialized multi-agent systems.
We are absolutely moving from the idea of one massive smart brain to the idea of a highly collaborative team of specialized experts.
Okay, and this is where it gets really interesting. Let's talk about the DeepSeek OCR model. When I hear OCR, I just think of, converting a picture of text into actual text.
Right.
But this is something else entirely.
It's pioneering a field called contextual optical compression. It's not about scanning, it's about retention efficiency.
Retention efficiency.
Yeah. So if an LLM has a limited context window, which is basically its short-term memory, how do you get the most information possible into that window? DeepSeek takes long documents, renders them visually, and then uses a visual encoder for compression. It's like taking super high-density notes.
So instead of trying to cram a 50-page report into a text window, you're compressing the visual data. But doesn't that compromise the data's integrity?
That's the breakthrough. The process retains a much higher information density, and the final output is key. After processing, it generates a perfect markdown document. It extracts text and titles. But here's the kicker. It actually re-renders the charts using code.
It re-renders them.
It re-renders them using libraries like Mermaid rather than treating them as static, non-queryable images. This fundamentally changes how we can query complex information like financial reports. The data is alive again.
That is massive for information retrieval. But, okay, DeepSeek is highly technical. Let's look at a specialized agent that's applying this kind of complexity directly to a major industry, the Chinese financial trading strategy framework.
This project is a perfect demonstration of that collaborative multi-agent architecture. It simulates an entire trading firm.
An entire firm.
You don't have one AI trying to do everything. You have dedicated agents playing these specialized critical roles. The analyst, the trader, the researcher, and the risk management layer.
And they actually simulate the workflow of a real firm, like they talk to each other.
Precisely. They don't operate in isolation. The system enforces collaboration and debate mechanisms, so it forces the agents to challenge each other's assumptions before executing a decision.
So it's not just algorithmic trading.
Oh, no, it's moving beyond that to automated, structured, professional decision-making. It covers everything from info collection and sentiment analysis to fundamental research and, most importantly, risk control checks.
We're also seeing agents move into adversarial roles, which brings us to security. Let's talk about Strax, the open source AI penetration testing agent.
Security testing is, it's repetitive, it's often skipped, and it requires this niche expertise that most app developers just don't have time to acquire. So Strax automates those repetitive task scanning, path analysis, attack simulation by essentially modeling the attacker's perspective. It hunts for exploitable weaknesses.
So for a developer, it's like having an always-on expert security consultant just checking your code before you even deploy.
Exactly. It spots the holes, and critically, it suggests fixes. This is a huge efficiency gain and a crucial step in raising the baseline security for all open source projects.
And finally, a great example for content creators and marketers. BF, the multi-agent public opinion analysis system.
If you're a content creator and you're looking to catch the next trend before it goes mainstream, this system is invaluable. BF uses a collaborative mechanism for an automated public sentiment flow.
What's that flow look like?
It's data collection across platforms, emotional analysis of the discussion, clustering the topics, and then trend prediction. The project flew past 20,000 stars really quickly, which just highlights its utility for predicting hot topics.
The complexity of these agent teams is incredible, but running them must take massive resources.
Oh, yeah.
Which brings us to the next section, the foundational infrastructure layer that is struggling to keep up.
This dramatic acceleration in infrastructure projects is the market reacting to a clear performance bottleneck. The demands of stateful LLMs and high-frequency agents are forcing developers to seek higher performance everywhere.
You see this instantly in cloud networking. Traffic, the cloud-native proxy, saw a massive 4.5 times surge in daily stars.
It jumped from steady growth to over 160 stars a day. That kind of sudden spike means enterprises are urgently prioritizing high-performance, resilient networking to handle these complex, distributed agent architectures.
And look at the visual boom. Play Canvas engine, the JavaScript engine for WebGL and WebGTU, saw an explosive 8.8 times growth increase.
That is far beyond typical maintenance growth. It suggests a massive renewed interest in building high-performance web graphics runtimes.
For what, though? Visualizing agent dashboards.
That, or integrating AI capabilities directly into web-based 3D environments.
And we can link this infrastructure growth directly back to the data needs of AI. We're not talking about traditional databases anymore.
No, we're talking about specialized architecture. Look at Milvus.io Milvus, the open-source vector database. It saw a 3.6x growth increase. For those who aren't familiar, a vector database doesn't store information by keywords. It stores it by meaning or relationship,
which is essential for AI vector search.
It allows the AI to quickly find related concepts in these massive data sets.
Right, and linked to that is retrieval augmented generation. HKUDS Lite RAG, which provides simple and fast RAG capabilities, more than tripled its daily growth.
An RAG is simply the process that lets an LLM look outside its training data. It's like opening a reference book mid-conversation. You can't run sophisticated, factually accurate agents without fast RAG capabilities.
And that requires the high-speed infrastructure like Milvus and dedicated projects like Lite RAG.
Correct. And crucially, developers aren't just scaling, they're optimizing at the lowest level. Wolf Petraci, a frame profiler for C++ and C# apps, saw a 5x growth increase.
Why this sudden interest in profilers?
Because when systems get this interconnected and complex, you have multi-agent teams running on cloud networks, querying vector databases, performance overhead becomes a huge, costly factor. The surge in Tracy shows a return to deep, low-level optimization to cut down on latency and computational waste.
Okay, shifting gears a bit. Let's talk about the quality of life tools. The unsung heroes that make a developer's day-to-day workflow just manageable.
Especially when systems are distributed or your connectivity is an issue.
Right.
We've seen some highly practical solutions emerge to solve that environmental friction. One project provides these simple, essential Linux scripts for resource and mirror switching, and specifically for Docker installation and mirror switching.
That sounds small, but if you've ever sat waiting 20 minutes for a Docker download that eventually times out.
It's a lifesaver.
It is. Especially in regions with inconsistent GitHub or Docker Hub connectivity.
It solves a fundamental global frustration point. It is utility defined. And if you're a Windows user, especially if you're focused on maximizing performance, ATLAS OS is gaining serious traction.
ATLAS is a lightweight, open-source Windows optimization project, right?
It is. It's highly targeted at gamers and enthusiasts. It aggressively removes non-essential background services, telemetry, pre-installed apps.
All the bloat.
All the bloat. The goal is to maximize raw system performance, focusing on achieving low latency and minimal input response lag, all while improving privacy.
And for API developers, there's a strong new contender taking on giants like Postman and Insomnia. YAK. It's a desktop API client built with Rust and React.
YAK is positioned as the high-speed, secure, open-source alternative. The Rust and React combination ensures speed and a modern feel, but the critical selling point is that it's strictly local first.
Why is that local-first approach such a powerful draw right now?
Because so many of the legacy API clients have moved towards cloud-based sync and data storage for collaboration, which introduces massive privacy and security concerns for proprietary or sensitive API endpoints. YK keeps all your data on your machine. It's a huge benefit for security-conscious firms.
Now for the fun stuff that reminds us. The open source community is still about accessible DIY tech. The Magic Mirror project is still hugely starred, over 20,000 stars.
It's the ultimate weekend project. It turns a regular mirror into a modular, smart assistant screen.
Showing weather, news, calendars.
And its popularity is driven entirely by its incredibly accessible modular plug-in ecosystem. The community contributes specialized modules for everything from public transit schedules to stock tickers.
And finally, we have to mention the projects that merge coding skills with just pure personality. The open source games collection is still growing, and then there's the Coder Romance project, Greenwall.
Greenwall is brilliant. It lets you program custom patterns like hearts or names or images onto your personal GitHub contribution graph.
How does it do that?
It writes scripts that generate specific commit histories on specific dates, which lights up the corresponding squares on the wall. It's a testament to applying high-level engineering talent to pure vanity and sentiment. It proves human motivation in coding isn't always pragmatic.
So what does this all mean when we put the data together? I think we have two central, powerful lessons from this deep dive. First, the future of AI interaction is not going to be a single large model.
No, it's going to be highly specialized, collaborative, multi-agent teams.
They're moving into expert professional roles, security testers, financial analysts, content trend experts.
And lesson 2. This shift to complex, stateful, multi-agent specialization has caused developer focus to swing back hard to the foundation and to performance. The growth acceleration in cloud proxies, vector databases, graphics runtimes, and deep optimization tools like Tracy proves that the infrastructure has to get significantly faster and more efficient to handle these new agent systems.
So you now have the full picture of where the developer world is heading. You can see the innovation in the agent layer and the critical urgency in the infrastructure layer. And for those looking to deepen their understanding, the source context has some great supporting documents, including an introduction to building real-world machine learning systems.
Which brings us to the essential question we want to leave you with. We're seeing AI agents quickly move from novelties to specialized professionals, right here in open source. If these specialized autonomous agent teams become standard, widely available tools within the next year, what essential human roles that rely heavily on complex information synthesis, technical testing, or repetitive market analysis will be immediately replaced or just fundamentally changed? That is the immediate future you now possess the knowledge to analyze.